Welcome, Black. We are Black in Action. I am here bringing you Sense of Shock. I'm G. I am being joined together with J.Mike on the ones and twos.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
You better say something. We are diving into State of Play. Today is the day that Sony dealt its cards at the Summer Game Fest and has unsheathed upon us several PlayStation games of this year, and most definitely a lot coming out in 2023 and beyond. Um,
Yes, yes. And
I
I am 23.
For those that have a PlayStation 5, this is good news for you. This is a swan song saying, hey, we've got even more for the PlayStation 5, but saying, I bid you farewell to the PlayStation 4. They did announce some games PS4 rendered, but primarily a lot of the stuff was truly PlayStation 5. And what they started out right out the gate was that Resident Evil 4
The
coming
Resident
to
Evil 4.
PS5. Coming to
Capcom heard my
PS5
complaints last week. Capcom heard my complaint.
and that's going to be on March 24th, 2023. So that's Capcom coming right out the gate and saying, hey, we haven't forgotten the trend of that Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, if you want to call it. You have your Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, and then Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8. They're like, hey, we're going to give you that next gen goodness with that Resident Evil 4. What were your thoughts about it?
And we pumped on the whole lineup that Resident Evil had. Resident Evil 4 looks beautiful. The intensity is there, just that those emotions I was talking about during the last podcast I was on, just the suspense is back. I am excited for that. Seeing the VR content for Village, I couldn't get through 7, so I'm going to try my best if I get to VR 2. Which everything we saw for the VR 2 is pushing me to wanting to get the VR 2 for sure. So if I take that scary plunge, 8 will definitely be a day one pickup.
Okay, okay, definitely. Bringing back Leon S. Kennedy and going to Mother Prussia. Mother Prussia to secluded European village. Something terribly went wrong, and it's your job to, save the president's daughter from captivity. United States,
Yes.
captivity, if you will. So I'm really intrigued to really get into it, to dive into it. Hopefully they'll give us that content that was Ada Wong that was in the PlayStation 2 version of
Yes.
Resident Evil 4. Because the GameCube version was great, but the PlayStation 2 version had that extra Ada Wong mission and got you to see her side with her rocket launcher, giving you that terror nemesis vibe and those creepy scenarios in that crazy village. So I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to play. Of course, PlayStation 5 game. Pretty cool. Really excited for that one. And then they kind of bounced over quite a bit. They went to the PlayStation VR 2 games. They didn't really say, hey, the PlayStation VR 2 is coming out and this is what it's going to look like. But they just were letting us know that these are games coming out for it. They're 2022, so it lets us know that this equipment has to come out this year.
Yes, it will be this year.
It would only make sense. The previous one was that 2017?
Yes. It was a year after I left the company when it came out. So yeah, it's 2017.
Because you had Star Wars Battlefront that was compatible on it.
Correct.
And so you had that. I guess those games really gearing up to let you know, like, we have a catalog of games for the PlayStation VR. So the PlayStation VR 2 being hooked up to the PlayStation 5 with the new mechanics. They showed us Horizon Call of the Mountain. It has a little VR in there, so it says Horizon VR Call of the Mountain. And the gameplay looked intense. It does not look like you're playing as Aloy, so I think that was one thing that kind of was up in the air if you are or you aren't. But you'll be seeing it through the eyes of Rias, a former Shadow Karja warrior who hopes to redeem himself by investigating a grave new threat to the Sundom. He is a master at climbing and archery, two skills crucial to survival. As you step into his shoes, scaling perilous mountains and taking down mighty machines like the Thunderjaw. Thunderjaw was pretty nice. What were your thoughts on seeing this? Along with almost, we haven't seen her, but she'll be able to be seen, Aloy. What were your thoughts? J.Mike. He is not here. He has left us again. So to see this game in action is really nice. It really showcased how you get to use your arrow and bow, your quivers are there. It looked like you had a good amount the way that they were shooting. But the mechanical machines was really the name of the game. That Thunderjaw was very reminiscent. Seeing the tall neck as well. There's so many. And then they even dove into Horizon Forbidden West and let you know that there's new gameplay. All of your stuff that you acquired from beating the game previously will transfer into New Game Plus. The performance mode has been enhanced for the PlayStation 5 and rendered on the PlayStation 4 Pro. They're not saying anything about the PS4. So your boy is back. He's welcome back, J.Mike. Is this how we have to do you? You're getting dropped. Okay, well, I guess we can just continue like this. Is that going to be easier for you?
Yeah, that's all me. That way we don't have to keep.
So what were your thoughts about Horizon VR Call of the Mountain?
So I loved it. I loved it. I love that it's going to be a different perspective. If I'm not wrong, I was trying to get it pulled up here. The character you play as, unless
yes, so you're playing as Rias.
You run into in Forbidden West, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm pumped because I remember his story, so I want to know that backstory and what actually happened. And I, of course, don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't played the game, but it is definitely a story I want to dive deeper into.
Yeah, by far. Seeing these,
and the graphics are beautiful. I can't wait to see it on VR too. From what I'm seeing so far, just across the board, I can't wait.
Yeah, the machines are just intense. Like I said, seeing that Thunderjaw was very reminiscent of Zero Dawn. Seeing the tall neck as well. And it just looks like they're giving you so much more lore. Like you were saying, get to know more about the actual world of the Horizon series. So, pretty cool. And then, like I said, they talked about the New Game Plus. So all of your previous weapons and armor that you acquired by beating the game will be transferred into New Game Plus. They got the Ultra Hard mode. And it has actually been... a performance mode for the PS5 and a rendering on the PS4 Pro. They never say anything about the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 4 Slim. So they're really giving you the love for the PS5 along with a PS4 Pro. So that is a disclaimer they want to put out there. And, you know, it's nice that they'll add VR support at 40 frames per second mode as well. So it's going to be pretty cool. I need to dive back into Forbidden West. There was just so many things that came out back to back. Like you had your, I had the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection in January, then went straight into Sifu, then went straight into Horizon Forbidden West, and then WWE 2K22 came out. So it was just like boom, 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 boom. And now that I've tinkered away and got WWE 2K22 out of the way, I got some things to Sifu that I kind of brushing up on, but I want to go back into the world of Forbidden West. Have you already beaten Forbidden West?
I have. Sony knows what to do to reel me back in. They must have sensed it. I beat it probably about a month ago. 2 trophies shy of platinum.
Okay.
So I was going to jump back on anyway just to get those 2 trophies to get the platinum.
Mm-hmm.
But now looks like we'll be diving into a New Game Plus to do that. And I think they also announced there'll be new trophies with this update.
Yes, correct.
So I am obviously a trophy hunter at this point.
I mean, as you should be. As you should be. There shouldn't be any other way.
So I am definitely looking forward to those new trophies, seeing what those challenges are. So I'm sure I'll dive back into that this weekend.
Okay. And with the other 2 PlayStation VR 2 games that they announced was the No Man's Sky, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, Retribution. Do you even care about those games?
I'm kind of interested in Retribution. I think I burned myself out on No Man's Sky. Mm-hmm. I was one of those who jumped in day one pickup. Kind of disappointed with the content at the time and just left a dirty taste in my mouth. So I've never really gone back to it.
Yeah.
But I am excited about Retribution.
Okay. I am not at all concerned about The Walking Dead Saints Sinners. As just the franchise itself of The Walking Dead, I've moved on. I've had my fun with the Telltale games. I really didn't try to play that Survival Instincts, I think it was. Was that like
I didn't play that.
Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 game? It just didn't speak to me at all. So Saints and Sinners came out. I was like, you're not getting anything out of me. I appreciate you for just trying to come out, but I'm not going to dive in. So I'm happy that for you that you are intrigued and wanting to dive into that chapter 2, and hopefully they can give you some love.
Right.
They went into talking about games for the PC as well. We already know that God of War had come out. You had Horizon Zero Dawn come out on PC as well. I believe there was talk about Death Stranding and another game. But this time around, they wanted to deal with 2018 with Marvel's Spider-Man. Giving you that, what was it? The remaster was on the PlayStation 5, so that came with Miles Morales. So that's what they're kind of doing on this. They're giving you that Spider-Man remastered along with the Miles Morales on PC. Already played it. It looked a little bit shiny and crisp, but at the same time, like, I already own on the PS5, so I wouldn't really want to dive into it on the PC. I'm happy that they're starting to, pull a little bit more games over to the PC and give those PC warriors actually some Sony goodness. But I feel it's just taking too long for it to finally, hit PC. And then, maybe there might be some frame rates that they want to brush up on as well. But I mean, it's the way to get more money. What are your thoughts on the Spider-Man remastered series?
I have similar feelings as you. I've played both PS4, PS5, Miles Morales, of course. Absolutely loved it. To me, this just reminds me that Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be here next year, and that is what I am excited for. So I am also excited, for Sony giving love to the PC, trying to pull that crowd either over or introduce them to these marvelous Sony Studio games. So I love spreading the love.
Yes. Which, I mean, I really look forward to hearing more or just anything about Spider-Man 2. I'm eager to learn more about Wolverine. Insomniac is not shy on, really trying to not give us anything. They just tinker just a little bit and then kind of pull the card back a little bit. So with it being next year, really excited to see what they have in store for those PS5. And I don't believe this will be a PS4 game. I believe that both those games will definitely be PlayStation 5. That's why it seems like they're just waiting so long to push it out into 2023. But the next thing they showed was a little intriguing. Roller Drome. futuristic skater shooter from Ollie Worlds, Roll 7. I feel that this game is nice. I wish that the art style was a little bit more like cell shaded animated. I really could have got into it. I mean, it had that roller derby, free for all. What was that movie that came out? The roller derby with the girls and everything. Oh, I can't remember. Can't remember. Yeah, but it was pretty interesting, and that's what this kind of gives me the vibe about. But of course, you have guns as well, so you're kind of doing different tricks as well in each ramp and just blasting away, getting stylish tricks and cool kills. But it just, the art style didn't win me over. I was just like, it's nice. I wish it was a little bit more animated instead of like trying to have like pure move. It looked like it had like pure movement as well. Like they had like a mocap suit on somebody and then just like recorded them and then like did like a sketching as well. It has like that kind of like that Mike Judd, like that Beavis and Butthead.
The
King of the Hill type of art style to it.
Scratchy animation style.
Yeah.
Which, I agree with you. More power to them. Everything you said, I absolutely agree with. If they were going with this type of shading, I like the Borderlands style, sort of.
Yeah.
The more cel shaded. Game looks interesting. So, if it's a situation where it's one of those free trials on the new PlayStation Premium or whatever, I'll definitely give it a go. But there's just nothing about that game stood out to me, I guess.
Right. Oh yeah, totally. I totally understand. Like I said, we both feel the same way. Which the next thing that really got me excited was Tunic. I was an aficionado. I was pushing that game to no man's end. I was like, what is this game with this little fox that's straight up like a Link to the Past? And then it was on Xbox, and I was like, when is it coming out? Then I got to play a free trial of it during summer of E3 last year, or whatever gaming Microsoft. I think it was i3 at E3, something of that nature. And so I played it, and I was just so hooked. And then they said, hey, it's going to be on Game Pass. And a fantastic game. From what little bit I was able to play, I didn't really finish it, but it's so great. Now that it's coming out on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 on September 27th, I'm super, super excited. If you've never played a classic Legend of Zelda game, then you really are missing out, because that's where the charm comes from in this game. You have a little fox. He's got his little
shield.
his little master shield and his little master sword. But you don't start off with that. You have to go and find the master sword, so to speak. I know they're not trying to call it that, but it's just so cute to have him go through this top-down symmetrical island, and to, you can chop bushes down, you can fight enemies, things of that nature, but it's also solving a lot of puzzles. And it has that Metroidvania kind of Souls type of dodging aspect as well. You can't just stand there and just keep hitting. So it looks great. I'm really excited that it's coming out on the PlayStation. I thought it was just bound for the Xbox. But for it to be Tunic coming out on the PlayStation 4 and PS5, fantastic. What are your thoughts about Tunic for September 27th?
I am super stoked. Same deal. When I first saw this game, I thought it was a cute little thing to remake. Well, not remake, but kind of to pay homage to those classic Zelda games, particularly A Link to the Past, which, as I've mentioned before, is my second favorite game of all time. So I am pumped. I felt the same way. I thought it was going to be a Microsoft exclusive. So I felt like I would never get the opportunity until I'm starting to dabble into PC, but not much. I'm not an Xbox guy, so I never, intend on getting an Xbox. So I was afraid I would miss out on this title. But I'm just excited to play this little fox and just pretend this Link on PS5.
Yeah, get a link on the PS5. So true. So speaking of the PlayStation 5, we continue into more animal-esque games on the PlayStation 5, which is Stray, which is actually coming on the PS4 as well, which I'm shocked, but it's coming out next month, July 19th. And if you have PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium, you get this game a part of that. So that's a nice little perk as well for those that up their PlayStation tiers to the Extra and Premium. Stray is just a game that I seen September of 2020 during that PlayStation 5 unveiling, and just having this little cute cat just going around discovering back alleys and really trying to look for something. Let me see if I can give it actually. Let's see. I'm trying to give a breakdown. They won't give me a breakdown.
That's what I was looking for.
Right, exactly. PlayStation Blog says, trying to control a cat, whether it's in real life or when making a video game, it's definitely not a walk in the park. From the very beginning, we knew that the controls and animation of our star character need to be absolutely spot on in order to properly convey the exhilarating feeling of skills and movement. So Miko, our cat animator, took the challenge to heart and spent considerable time looking for images and video references. The good and somewhat surprising things we found is this: it really seems that the whole internet was basically invented for the sole purpose of hosting loads of cute cat pictures and videos. So we ended up having a lot of very good material to work for reference. So that really talked, what's his name? Swan Martin Ragat, producer of Blue 12 Studios, part of this Stray game. But it looks like you're really just going around and discovering various things in town. Didn't have any humans, so it looked like the robots are in this. And you've seen that one robot was kind of running away in a sense, or kind of scattering away. Not really running, but scattering away. But it looks like it has more of a focus on your cat, your Stray, if you will. And then you're kind of encountering and trying to meet up with the robots and probably get information from them as well. And it looked like there were some attacks as well that you're able to do. Kind of like Miles Morales when you are the Bodega Cat, Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. Having a little Bodega Cat on my
back. I use that outfit so
outfit.
much.
That was my favorite. That's the outfit. I didn't change after I got that outfit.
Yes, exactly. So it's nice that this game is coming out, let alone next month. Things that have been advertised during that September 2020 conference of State of Play. Now games are starting to roll out. Like I said, Sifu was just like one of the games I was just like, I have to have this game. I have to play this game. It looks so fresh, and so what the roller drome should have been like. They should have copied Sifu, but it's okay. Don't copy my homework. Look at my homework. Don't copy my homework. So with Stray also being announced, your Spider-Man Miles Morales, your Final Fantasy 16, along with other games as well that were announced during that State of Play. It's nice that we're getting now deep-seated into the games that are supposed to be out now. I understand certain things happen with the world, but things are surely starting to come out. And Stray is a prime example of what I know you, along with myself, are super excited to drop into.
Yes. And it actually sort of, I don't want to say sold me on the new tier system of PlayStation Plus, but I am more motivated to actually make that a day one purchase now instead of holding off. That is how interesting this game looks.
Yes, correct. And I mean, it looks like it's just one I'll have to put on my Twitch channel and start to stream because it looks great. Now, that is in fray of a couple of more days. We have this Summer Game Fest. Once they announce, once again, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And if that comes out this month, that's yeah, Stray comes out next month, but Shredder's Revenge comes out this month. I'll be just gung-ho on that game completely. And I'm glad that they didn't put it in this presentation, because it would have took away from a couple of the other games as well that we're about to announce that were just intriguing. But I'm definitely wanting to up the scale of my PlayStation Plus as well, just because you would get Stray as well. I would like to purchase Stray, but if you're going to get that a part of your upgrade, then why not? We know that we had a game called Season, A Letter to the Future. And I think that art style looked good. I think the main character is a female, because they kept saying her. So I think her name is Estelle. And the artwork looks really good.
Yes.
But she's going around and she's meeting different people. And it has like a storybook slash diary slash photo book that she's actually taking part of and putting into and changing people's lives as well, the people that she meets, and letting everybody know how it's going to be. And I don't know about you, I'm pretty sure you can speak on it, but I know with me, there was a lot of my childhood where I was riding a bike. I mean, I was traveling from here, there, everywhere, discovering different places, different neighborhoods. My bike was just my main companion until I really took on the video game era. But the way that it looks as when she's pedaling literally downhill into a mountain cavern on a road per se, just that fluid motion looks so real and seamless. I was like, wow, that takes me back to when I was just on my bike and I was just really just enjoying life and no cares and no worries in the world. So this one, I know it's on PlayStation 5. I don't think it's on PlayStation 4. I don't see anything about PlayStation 4. Okay.
Oh no, it's PS4.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
They're just talking more about the DualSense controller, so that's good. But go ahead. What are your thoughts on Season?
I am with you. It did take me back. I definitely spent a lot of time on my bike, to the point when my dad would wash his car, I would wash my bike and put like the Armor All on the tires. So that was my little motorcycle back in the day. I thought. So like the scene of her like riding the bike on like those back roads.
Yeah.
Definitely took me back because I grew up in the country.
Okay.
So I would ride my bike to my grandma's house that lived, in a car ride is about 15 minutes, but on that bike it was like 30 minutes, and just taking those back roads and those many hills and just the country atmosphere. And just seeing that kind of recreated in the mountainous setting that she has, I don't know, just something peaceful about it. And of course, the mystery you're trying to unravel, which is what gets me in these type of games. I love, solving some type of mystery. And similar to, what was that game? Edith Finch.
Yeah.
It reminded me of something like Edith Finch esque. And then, of course, I love that they're doing more stuff with the DualSense, so I can't wait to feel the adaptive triggers and the pressure with the bicycle and all that.
Yes, that's going to be great. It's going to be really good. Because like you said, you being in the country with myself in Massachusetts, definitely the Cape, I mean, there's a lot of woods, there's a lot of back roads, there's a lot of, dare I say, infinite undiscovery. A throwback to the 360 Square Enix game. But there's so much to discover. We really weren't on the main roads, and we were just discovering so much, making forts, finding new paths, showing each other like, hey, this is what I found the other day, come this way, boom, boom, boom. So it's nice that this game gives you that love letter to us, dare I say, even though, a letter of the future.
Definitely.
It's like, hey, if you remember what video games were like, but they weren't like everywhere, it was kind of hard to get to, this is what you did when you weren't on the gaming system. And you were allowed to be outside.
Yeah, you were allowed to be outside.
So I'm really, really intrigued at this game, and we have that coming out fall of this year, so that's a good thing. I like how when they unveiled it, Season Letters to the Future, And then it showed fall of 2022, and I was like, that's a season. That's a good season. I'm glad it's coming out this year. Of course, we know spring, winter, and summer, but I would like this game to fall into, no pun intended, I would like it to be in that time frame of the year. So we journey right into, we have Eternites, and that was an interesting game. It has a true anime look to it as well. It once again seems like that next level, like PlayStation 5 game. It did have a lot of anime tropes to it. The jarring of the blushing if somebody's getting too close. If you're fighting somebody, just that quick action, kind of like that Fifth North Star. It's the main thing I can really go with. I enjoyed that. No more heroes, Devil May Cry action to it. It had a good story to it as well, what they were showing, how your arm gets chopped off. Like, right from the beginning of the trailer, they showed his arm, like, right above his elbow on his right arm just got chopped off. And, big gawking eyes for an anime character, and disbelief and shock, and not really sure what to do. And then it shows a digitized prosthetic of an arm being formed, and he can turn that into a blade. I don't know, it looked like a worm as well, but it looked really cool. And of course, I don't know if they're going to have voiceovers. It sounded like there was voiceovers, but I'm not sure if, your dialogues when you meet somebody, are you going to be able to hear a voiceover, or is it going to be, hey, I have to read this because the subtitles are right there. But it looks good. It's due to come out next year. So at least it'll be on the PS4 and PS5. I know it'll look really nice on the PlayStation 5. But Eternites, what are your thoughts, J.Mike?
It's definitely different. I thought it was very interesting. Like it definitely took got my attention. It's referred to as a dating action game. Did you know that?
I mean, I wouldn't believe it. I believe the action, yes, but the dating is not. I mean, there were females in there, but it didn't seem like that was the core focus. It seemed like, hey, I just got my arm cut off. I need to give some revenge. There are people that are supposedly my friends. Let's go. But the dating aspect, I did not have any type of inclination. That's what it would be.
Okay. I only know that I'm reading the PlayStation.
Oh, of course, yeah. So you said it piques your interest. Are you thinking about diving into it? Silence is golden. Silence is a valid answer. It's probably a no. So we dive right into the next game, which is going to be the Kalisto Protocol. This sci-fi horror is going to be intense. It almost looked like Dead Space to me. I was pretty shocked. There he is again. He's just cutting out on me. Just cutting out on a brother. Where are you at? Why you keep leaving me?
I was answering the question. I lost you.
But we journey right into the next game, which is the Kalisto Protocol. This sci-fi horror game. Like I said, it almost looked like Dead Space.
I am pumped for this just because it looks like Dead Space.
The mindset of being almost like in a desolate place, a desolate land, a different planet, obsolete, looks like a lot of decay and destruction, and then seeing these entities is a prime piece. These entities coming out of their shells, exoskeletons, just really fleshy beings, and trying to come at you tenfold. And I don't know what type of weapon you personally have, but he was doing some damage in the trailer. It looked pretty nice. This is pretty much considered Jupiter's dead moon, based in 2320. So it's a future that I don't want to live in.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And it gives me the vibe of a Dead Space, along with Clive Barker's Jericho.
Yeah.
So it was really intense. It gives you squeamish vibes. It almost makes you believe like I just want to watch this game. I don't want to play it. I really just want to just sit back. The beautiful thing is that this game comes out on the PlayStation 5 and PS4 December 2nd of this year. Now,
yes, and I will be picking it, or at least asking for it for Christmas.
Now, to have Jacob as the main character, voiced by Josh Duhamel, that's really nice. To have a core actor
right.
to play the primary role of your protagonist. I have no idea what to expect. I know it's just going to be a great game to just dive into, to say the least, and a just thrill of a ride. They've taken horror to another realm in this way, so I'm impressed. And I mean, it'll be on the PS4 as well, so I'm pretty intrigued. I feel that they were just going to really try to keep everything towards PlayStation 5, give it that full control with the PS5. But if you pre-order this game on the PlayStation Store from the PlayStation blog, you receive a special contraband pack to help give Jacob a fighting chance against the unspeakable horrors of Black Iron Prison. So that's pretty something to entice you into getting that guy. And then we go into getting closer to the end of the show. One game that I mean, as the more I think about it, it's given me highs and lows. And I mean, I have such a love for this series. It is a staple of my gaming history, and it is one of the games that has brought many of my friends and making new friends into my life. And on this realm, in 2023 of next year, Street Fighter 6 will be coming out. I have such a love for Street Fighter. I feel like I just died on this hill so many times, and somehow it resurrects. Coming out on the PS5, PS4, this game has a life of Street Fighter 3. The hip hopness, the edginess, the kind of gritty in your face, kind of one of the characters looks like Sean as well, the way he kind of moves around, even though it's a capoeira type of style of Eddie from Tekken 4. I really want to dive into this. It looks like a free roaming as well. It looks like you have your story, but then you have a little bit more of a free roaming as well, and you're training to be not the very best there ever was, but you've got your characters. Luke, who was in Street Fighter 5, and then a new character, Jamie, has that capoeira type of style. So it's pretty cool. And it showed Chun-Li, it showed Ryu, showed aspects of the Mad Gear gang that was your Final Fight characters. Your Hagar, your Hugo, and Abigail were kind of a little bit in the trailer. So pretty cool. What is your feels on this here Street Fighter 6?
No, I'm not a big Street Fighter person, surprisingly. Mm-hmm. But to me, so I can't really speak to, I guess, my expectations. It does look beautiful. I'll at least try it. Was it what they mainly showed? Well, not mainly showed, but I always use Chun-Li, so it was nice seeing her skill set displayed. So it's definitely something I'll be looking at, but not necessarily jumping on.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. I mean, Street Fighter is not for everybody, as to where I feel that Mortal Kombat is for everybody. Now, Street Fighter is a little bit easier to play, as to where Tekken is a little more advanced to play. You need to know more about combos. Street Fighter is that happy medium. Mortal Kombat is just well known just because of Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Most people know Ryu. Some people see Ryu. Some people say Ryu. But Ryu and Chun-Li are great staples, and with them being like your Japan and China characters, that's where Street Fighter is mostly well known. Aside from your American characters, which is your Ken and your Guile, they're not well advertised as much as Ryu and Chun-Li. But I'm gonna dive into this one as well. I'm gonna have fun. I'm not a tournament-esque type of dude that's going to be going to tournaments and trying to show everybody what's up. I just really enjoy the series. I enjoy the games. And then we'll dive into that. So we'll see what Street Fighter 6 has. Your moment, your fight. I plan to make it my own. And we'll go from there. Now, the way they ended this whole thing out was the Final Fantasy 16. They gave us a lengthy trailer, I must say. They gave us a lot of intake as well. It felt like they gave a lot of backstory and pushed it up to today. It didn't feel as story-driven as the unveiling at the September 2020 PlayStation 5 reveal. It seemed like they went more into gameplay, more action, more iconic feats in this one as well. And that Bahamut looked straight up just beautiful. That Bahamut Zero looked awesome. I was so ecstatic. So Final Fantasy 16 due to be coming out next year. I expect nothing but greatness. I want them to take their time. I want them to give us what we deserve. And I want them to make it a really beautiful game. And so far they're just saying it's on PS5, which it should be, because it shouldn't be on anything other than that. Final Fantasy 16, your thoughts, J.Mike?
Once again, me and you are very similar in thinking, G. I just want them to take their time, ensure this beauty of what we've seen translates well into gameplay. Obviously, this won't be exactly how graphics will be in gameplay, but intending for graphics and gameplay to be beautiful, a beautiful story. I'd love seeing. Did we ever figure out the dang names, the icons or something? Titan, Shiva, Ifrit. So seeing those in action, I'm looking forward to it. And yes, it better only be on PS5 at this point.
Yeah, so far the PlayStation blog, they're saying that launches on PS5 summer 2023. So, like I said, with them announcing it at the September 2020, like PlayStation 5 reveal, yes, Miles Morales was on the PS4. Sifu was on the PS4. Stray will be on the PS4 as well. But like Final Fantasy 16, like, stop it. You only need to be on PS5. Like, they're bringing everything. It seems like they're bringing everything to end with this Final Fantasy 16. But they did say Yoshida Naiko. With the power of the PlayStation 5 behind us, we're looking to take you on a seamless, story-driven, white-knuckle ride that will rival even the most thrilling roller coaster, so buckle up, the wait is almost over. Now, you would think with that phrase alone, if it said next gen, you would think, hey, maybe on the Xbox Series as well, but saying the power of the PlayStation 5, sounds like it's exclusive. And I'm not mad about that. Now, do you see that character that was on the end of the trailer, so to speak? But he's got the sword in his back. He's got the scar on his... He looks like a character from Final Fantasy 15, correct?
He does.
But he's not.
But he's not. But
okay.
He looks like a character from Final Fantasy 15.
Okay. I'm not going crazy. Okay. I'm like, yo. Did you notice the way that the attacks were going, with the way the life was chipping away? Some life would chip away and some life would just blast away the enemy.
Yes, I did see. I didn't notice that, so I found that interesting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I mean, it does definitely sound like it will be like a voiceover thing. It won't be, reading everything like your classic Final Fantasies.
Right.
I think they've kind of gone away from that. Kingdom Hearts is kind of divvied in and out of that by having voiceovers and then having you read as well in certain areas, but maybe they were just limited, which they didn't mention anything about Kingdom Hearts 4, because they don't want to take away from Final Fantasy 16. I don't think you can, juggle both Square Enix games simultaneously. You have to show love to something that's been talked about. Final Fantasy 16 is where Kingdom Hearts 4 is like the latest craze, and everybody wants more. It's like, well, it's coming out. Don't worry. You got a little bit. Push that to the side. That's in the future. Let's focus on Final Fantasy 16.
Right.
But I'm intrigued. Now there is definitely an elephant in the room. A lot of people are asking. One person should have been on here, but they're truly upset, and that's okay. We have God of War Ragnarok that was not announced. Now, everything showed to play that yes, it should have been announced in some way, form, or fashion. But this is only the middle of the year. We still have the tail end. Anything could happen.
That's true. I figured they would announce it because the June game for PlayStation Plus is God of War. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was expecting. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, they're setting us up for Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm. Now, it would have been nice because you have that. Now, if it did, or if it was announced, I think it would have totally pushed out some of these games. They would not have received the love and the time. And yes, there are some that they could have picked out and just not had on here at all. I would not even go into that. I would like for God of War to have its own state of play, just like how Horizon Forbidden West had its own. Gran Turismo had its own. I think Ghost of Tsushima had its own as well.
It did.
But the funny thing is, like with that one, Last of Us Part 2 was just so hyped and everybody was so for that Sony was like, hey, this game is Sucker Punch. You know them. Just like, look at this game and you'll appreciate it. And I know me, when I seen how the whole world of Tsushima was, and it just seemed so free-flowing on horseback as well. And then I was like, all right, how are you going to find out? I don't want this to be like Breath of the Wild clone. How am I going to know exactly where to go? And then the bird just coming out and it shows you exactly which way to go, or the wind will show you which way to go. It's like, you answered my question without even hearing what I even asked. Ghost of Tsushima became really, really hype, really popular. Of course, I played The Last of Us Part 2 because it came out in June, to where Ghost came out in July of 2020. But, it was shortly after to where I did play Ghost of Tsushima and fell in love with it and understood exactly why. So, they could easily wait a little bit later this year and give us a God of War. A full, give it all of its love. It's already got a rating from overseas. Cory Barlog has already played it and said, you're really going to enjoy it. And I take his word very much so to heart. But it needs to come out this year. And if it comes out September 30th, I'd be happy. What I want it to do is I would like it to come out on November 11th. That would be the day that Starfield was supposed to come out. But God of War took that. That'd be a week right before the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And it would have a nice little staple in between, right after your Call of Duty and right before your Pokemon, and not just get lost in that pre-holiday shuffle. Because you got that holiday shuffle, like your NBA 2K. FIFA's kind of like October, but I think they call it FC or whatever. But you have, your standard little, pre-game setting up for the actual holiday season before you get to the core stuff. And then I don't know when they're going to have the VR2 come out. Maybe October. But anyways, what are your thoughts about the release date of God of War, when they should have it? Is it even coming out this year?
I still think, because Sony hasn't announced a showstopper for holiday 2022. So I feel like God of War will take that space. So I would have, ideally, just like you, I want God of War to have its own state of play, like Horizon and Gran Turismo and all those. So if we're looking at holiday, I would love to see a trailer or anything by the end of July, if not about mid-August.
Okay. Yeah. That would be smart. Yeah, that would be smart to definitely do that. Right after, your Stray for July 19th. it'll be, a month after the new tiers of the PlayStation Plus, so they can say, hey, we've converted this many people over to PlayStation Essential or the just PlayStation Plus in general, and PlayStation Extra, PlayStation Premium. So that would be good. That would be smart. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do, because they do need a heavy hitter. The PlayStation VR 2 is a great accessory.
Right, but that's not for everybody.
That's not for
everybody.
everybody.
Or not mass appeal products.
Yeah.
And then I will say worst case, because Sony is known for releasing their big titles in February. So that was probably the latest I would want God of War.
It would not bode well.
It would not bode well.
Because I feel that the Street Fighter 6 will be February. Just like how Street Fighter
that's true.
Street Fighter 5 came out February. But your Street Fighter 4 came out like I want to say April of 2008. 2008, yeah. That was a while ago. Going off memory. So you would need that to come out. You need Street Fighter 6 to come out in February for your March 24th Resident Evil 4. So Capcom could go back to back against each other. Like they did the Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry and the Resident Evil Village. Yeah. So... Well, they kind of did the remaster or the remake of Resident Evil 5 Definitive Edition on the PS5 and Series X. But I don't think they should push it to next year. I don't want them to push it to next year because I want it to come out this year, so therefore it can trump Elden Ring. Because Elden Ring has been talked about a lot, and I feel a lot of people playing it, but it just has not got the buzz in my ears. It has not received the buzz lately on how great the game is. More people are looking forward to, all right, I need something new, I need something fresh. I've had my fun with Elden Ring. I'm glad it's on both consoles, but I need something else.
You're right. Yes, absolutely.
So, hopefully, God of War can come out this year. Maybe they're planning production to where, they've got their, like, the God of War 2018, you had your standard version, you had your collector edition, and then you had your Stonemason edition. And then you had the PlayStation 4 Pro God of War system as well. But this time, maybe they can go ahead and give us faceplates.
Yes.
To go with it.
That's what I'm ready for.
As I talked to Jay earlier today, he said that he would like faceplates and a statue. I was like, you just can't have your cake and eat it too. But... I think that a controller would be a nice compatible option for an additional accessory. And I would like another statue. I would love to have another statue.
I would love to have another statue as well.
I love my statue. I can't have enough Kratos statues in my house. In my game cave. But
That's right.
That's up to the stars. It's up to the cosmos. Let us know exactly when and where they're going to place that game. We know it'll be on the PlayStation 5. Apparently on the PS4 as well. I think it's their last initial free upgrade or whatever. If you buy...
Free upgrade? I thought Horizon was the last free upgrade.
Horizon may be the last one. I think... yeah. That may be the last one. I thought I said God of War, but it may be Horizon. I thought Gran Turismo was Gran Turismo?
Because it wasn't Horizon, and then there's a lot of pushback, so then they included Horizon.
Yeah. Did they do it to Gran Turismo?
No, Gran Turismo, you do not have a backwards compatible version.
Okay.
Or upgrade, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I wouldn't buy it, but, it's whatever.
Rude?
I've had my fun with Gran Turismo. I still have A-Spec. Or Gran Turismo Sport A-Spec. It's nice. It was fun. But I was one of those early adopters. I got it in the beginning, and then everybody was just like, oh, cool. I want to be part of the GT club. And I'm like, no, it's too late. Because, I got burnt. That game takes up so much memory. So much memory.
Yes, it does.
But you know, it's a nice simulation game. Horizon. Um, what is the word I'm looking for? Forza Horizon.
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm looking for. Forza Horizon is a better game because I like that free roaming simulation. Now, if you give me Burnout Paradise Remastered 2, I'm losing my stuff. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's and I don't know why, but like the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, that like they don't hit Need for Speed Heat. It just doesn't give me the same feeling as Burnout Paradise does.
Nope.
I can't put my finger on it. I mean, I could if I wanted to because I love the music, but there's just something about those games, or just that game alone, that I own it on PC, Xbox, PlayStation. Both play PS4 and PS3. Yeah. And it's just like, it was like, hey, would you like to buy it on the Xbox? Because it's going off of, I think it was going off of Game Pass or something. And I was like, oh, $5? Yeah, I'll buy it. So I was like, I love this game so much. It is my favorite racing game to date. Yeah. But anywho, it has been a blast. Getting this thing going. Of course, we have many more things to talk on, but those are for another day. Possibly not a rainy day like today.
Correct.
But
miserable day.
Yeah, I know. But we will let y'all get back to it. Watch the other videos. Like, share, subscribe to your boy, to seasons that are beautiful. And I can't wait for that game. That's why I bring up seasons. But we're Sense of Shock. J.Mike has been a blessing to be with us.
Thank you again, G, for having me.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine. We will definitely see you when we see you.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.